Okay, first of all, I've got the bandana on because you really don't want to see my rotten teeth. You can see me in my previous videos, but I've got to the point now where I can't stand looking at my own teeth. So that's the only reason I've got this on. Uh, just looking at my ugly face puts me off. I want to be sick, basically, every time I look at myself. I'm disgusted. And this is the result of a bodged in hospital operation to fix my teeth. And the only reason I've got this on is just to hide my face, hide my rotten teeth. Yes, I am ashamed. You can take the Mickey as much as you want. Anyway, I'm here now, just quickly, basically to ask a favour. Every time I log online now, I'm getting constantly harassed by beggars online, basically. Now, I know I'm not the only one. I know Facebook and other social media sites now are sick to death of all the beggars online. Yeah, all right, I'm going to get the smart ass that turns around and says, well, you're begging. No, I'm asking for support, for donations, basically. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a funding page where people can support me, basically. And what I'll do is I'll send a minimum of 50 to 70% of the donations to people in need. 10% will go to the hosting funding company. I'll take 10%, which means 80% will go to people in need. Now, some, maybe 5% will be lost in transaction fees and exchange rate fees, but I'm hoping 70% at least will go to the people in need. Now, excuse me, I'm not going to give it to NGOs, as I said earlier. I'm not going to give it to governments or charities. What I will do is I already have a list of names of people that are basically friends. And I've lost contact with them because I know they're sitting at home with no internet, no phone. Sorry, I don't know what that flash was. Sorry, I don't know what that flash was. I'm not going to edit this. You take it as it is. As I say, I'm not going to waste money or time editing a video because I know 99% of the people won't even look at the video. It's pointless spending hours editing videos, paying a cameraman, paying an editor, you know? I want as much money as possible to go to the people in need. Now, if you look on my About Me page, I've got a Patreon site. Now, I've got it set to $25 at the moment. Now, at $25 is £20, which one, two, I think about £3 will go in fees and currency exchange rates, because obviously it depends what country. $25 is worth about £20. However, I found out yesterday there is actually a customized link. You click that customized link and you put in how much you want to donate. So if you want to donate 50p, you donate 50p. But what I will ask is you donate a minimum of £1 or $1, because I know at least 25 pence, 25 cents, whichever, goes to they also charge 20p for a transaction, and I think 2 or 3 20p for a transaction, and I think it's 2 or 3% fee. But that's usually a crock, and they end up charging a lot more. But what I'm saying is, unlike the charities, at the end of the day, when you give £1 to a charity, they're lucky if they get 10p. Now, you're going to say, Ray's going to get scammed left, right, and centre here. No. First of all, they've got to provide government ID. To get load to the mobile phone, they've got to provide me with the number. If they've got the balls to come on the internet and beg for food, and you're going to say, well, if they've got no load, how are they on the internet? They go to the mall and they use a free Wi-Fi hotspot, or they borrow a friend's phone. Because 9 out of 10 people I speak to in Asia, I speak to them very rarely, because they can only get online when they borrow a friend or another family member's phone. Like the kids using the computer at home. While auntie's sleeping, they'll use the computer at night, using their neighbour's Wi-Fi. Now, that's what I want to do. Rather than funding 1,000 people to separate mobile phone accounts, what I'd like to do is say to 10 people that I know, and I've known for 5-10 years, I've been to their houses in the Philippines, I know all their family, I know exactly the scams they're pulling, I know exactly how they work, I know how they sleep, I know how they live, you know? What I'll do is, I'll get them to give me permission to put Wi-Fi in their house. So basically, I'll give them an internet connection and I'll pay the £40 a month out of donations for them to have the internet, on the condition that they leave it open, so that the kids, the students, when I say kids, I'm not talking about little kids, I'm talking about teenagers, 16, 17, 18, 19, students in their 20s, 21 to 24. When I say kids, I'm talking about anybody over 16, basically. so that they can, as I say, they can share their internet, so that, like, if they live in a housing division, a subdivision. Basically, a subdivision is like, if you imagine a housing estate in England, like Broxtowe in Nottingham. If you imagine Milton Keynes, actually, I'll use two perfect examples. York. York has a wall around it. And to get into the centre of York, you have to go through gates. And this is what subdivisions in the Philippines are like. You drive in through a gate with exactly the same as York. You drive up to the gate in York, you go under the gate, and you go in. If you're a pedestrian, you go under the two arches that each side of the gate. That's just reminded me of a funny joke I saw on the internet last night. I'm not going to go into it. Not going to go into it because it's rude. But if you can imagine an arch with then two tunnels by the side of it, I don't need to say anymore. And this is what subdivisions is like. However, in those two arches and in the gateway, you've got armed security guards. Now, if I can get the subdivision to put Wi-Fi in their clubhouse, I can get the signal boosted so it can cover the whole of the subdivision. So basically, everybody within the subdivision can get Wi-Fi access. And that's basically how a lot of people live in the Philippines. They live in subdivisions. Same in America. They live in control. And in America, it's completely different. In America, it's actually gated access. You can't get through unless you've got a residential permit or you've got a delivery permit. And if you're a delivery driver, the guard will actually ring the customer and say, right, are you expecting a delivery today? And if they are, they'll let them in. Excuse me. So, I'm not asking for a lot of money. I'm just saying, if it's coming up to Christmas, how about we get some of these kids teenagers on Wi-Fi for Christmas? In Asia now, you can get mobile phones for 20 quid. You can get one of the family. I'm not going to say, right, you've got 10 brothers, 10 sisters. I'm not going to buy 21 people mobile phones. What I'll do is I'll say, right, there's a mobile phone. You can have it, but you get 1 hour a day on it. That's it. You got 10 brothers, 10 sisters. That's 21 hours a day. The other 3 hours a day, mum and dad can use it. This is what I go when I talk about teams. Life is about sharing now. Like when we were kids, we were not a rich family. My brother's got something. We shared it. Oh, right, well, Bob's at his mate's house. Use his phone for an hour. Mark at his mate's house. So Raymond, get on the phone for an hour. Because when they come back, they'll want the phone. And that's it. You shared, Well, obviously it wasn't the phone, but the toy, whatever. Or you play with it an hour and then your brothers can play with it the rest of the time. Talking shit really, I know. Basically, I'm sick of people begging online for money. So if I can now get them Wi-Fi access, then they can at least have a chance of looking for real jobs. Plus, I'll also get them, once they have the Wi-Fi access, to actually access and create their own Patreon page. So then they can get online, they can make a video just like I am right now, and they can get supporters. Because for every 30 supporters that I get within a 30-day period, Patreon will give me up to a $500 bonus. But that's a one-time payment only, and it's only valid for 30 days. After 30 days, I just get the normal referral bonuses. Now, if you don't want to support me by pledging monthly money, what you can do is you can create a Patreon page. You then do exactly as I'm doing, a video for your product. You then get people as Patreon customers when you sign up. When your referrals sign up, they get a bonus. So then, if you don't want to send in money, then sign up for the Patreon page. So when you create a page, I get commission. It's like affiliate, basically. When you get sales or referrals as an affiliate, when that affiliate gets referrals or orders, you get a certain commission of their money. So if they earn, say, $10 a day, I might get 50 cents of it. I might get half a dollar, and you'll get half a dollar as well. So if I get 30 people to make a Patreon account within 30 days, I'll get up to 500. Oh, pardon me. I'll get up to $500 bonus. If you then get 30 people, you'll get $500, but not only will you get up to $500 for referring people, you'll get up to an extra thing. So if you make $500, I'll make $500, but I'll also get $500 bonus as well. So basically, I'll make $1,000. I don't know how much is involved to get the $500 bonus, but have a look. Have a look at the page. I'll leave the link in the. I'll leave the link down the bottom there somewhere. As normal, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification icon, so when I make the next bullshit video, you can have a good laugh, and then you can share me with all your mates and say, "Look at this complete and utter nutter." He's always trying to fucking beg something. Now, it's, as I say, it's Patreon. I'll leave the link in the description below. You'll probably have to copy and paste it, because for some unknown reason, I can't get the link. Now, I don't know whether that's just because it's a live stream or whether it's something to do with YouTube. Because when I first started making videos, if you look at the early stuff, the complete and utter garbage, where I must have been either very mentally ill at the time, or I was just having a laugh. and I put links in there, and they work fine. But for some unreason, that's a good word. For some unknown reason, the links don't work now. And actually, my teeth aren't doing my head in that much now. Anyway, I'm done. It's another 20-minute video. I need 10 minutes. So then you get loads of adverts. Once I get to the requirements, you'll get loads of adverts. And then you'll all be complaining, Ray, make your damn videos 5 minutes so we don't get inundated with ads. Simple. You don't want ads. I don't want ads. The way you can sort it is by supporting me. Because if you support me, I won't have ads on my videos. If you support me, and as I say, I'm only going to keep 10%. That's just enough to pay my internet bill and my web hosting bill. And obviously cover my fees. Because Patreon take 10%, I'll take 10%, and whatever's left will go to people in need. You know, I'm talking about people in Asia. However, I'm getting phone calls on a daily basis now, because I used to run a food bank, saying, Ray, we need food. Now, if I can get funding support from you lot, I can get onto one of the local supermarkets website, and I can have a £40 minimum order sent to those people. You know, if you're going to ring someone up to black a £40 order out of them, and good luck to you. You know, if you're really that sad that you want to test me to see if I will actually send you an order, then knock your socks off, because at the end of the day, £40 is nothing. You know, that's £10 a week, and it's a one-off delivery. It's not going to be £40 order a month, and people think, great, I can scam Ray, just like I'm scamming the welfare system in the UK now. I'm getting £74 a week or £54 a week job seekers allowance. I'm getting £23 a week for my first kid under child support, something like £13. The figures I'm talking are probably bullshit, because it's probably nothing like it is now. I'm just guessing from what ex-girlfriends have got who've had kids. And then now you've got your child tax credit, that could be another £800 a month. Now, if you want to get online when you're getting all that money to ask someone for 40 quid or £45 for a delivery, then knock your socks off, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's a one-time only. It's a one-time only offer. If I've helped you once, I won't help you again. I'll give you 30 days to sort yourself out, and that's it. Don't want to know after that. Because I believe they're saying now that the new changeover, once the unit up to 5 weeks to get your first payment. However, you can get an advance payment, which apparently you pay back over a 12-month period. So I think the example they use, I think, is if your advance, if your payment is going to be like £218 a month, they'll give you that £218, and then what they'll do is they'll take 20 quid a month off you till it's paid off. Something like that. Anyway, I don't know the real figures. I'm not really fussed, but as I say, before someone gets funded, they're going to have to prove to me that they've exhausted all avenues to get money. There's totally no chance of a job, not even a day job, a casual job, day labourer, whatever. They've exhausted all regarding government support. Sorry, I'll rephrase that word. Taxpayer support, because what people have got to realise around the world is British people get no help from the British government whatsoever. The British government do absolutely nothing in this country to help their citizens. Since 1947, when the welfare system and the National Health Service was introduced, it has been funded by the British taxpayer, not the government. It's not government money, it's my money, it's your money. You're paying 12% national insurance, you're paying between 20 and 50% tax. So your money is paying for your next door neighbour's 2 kids. It's paying for their child support. It's paying for their child tax credit. It's paying for their working tax credit. It's paying for their disability payments. It's paying for their PIP, their ESA, their, what used to be called? Disability living allowance or whatever. Yeah, this isn't funding by the government. This is funding by the British taxpayer. If the British taxpayer, there'd be no welfare system in this country, because the money doesn't come from the government, it comes from me, it comes from you, it comes from your mum and dad, it comes from your auntie, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your nephew, your niece. It comes from their tax money. Like from Robin Hood's time. Robin Hood robbed from the rich to give to the poor. And this is what our government is doing. It's robbing from the working class to give money to wankers that are too lazy to work. And there's no such thing as, I can't find a job. If you want a job hard enough, you will find one. I've been in management for well over 20, 25 years. And it's impossible to recruit now. Impossible. I've shut 3 companies down, not my company, but 3 companies down because we couldn't recruit staff, because they were too lazy to work. And at the end of the day, they turned around and said, I can stay on the dole and I can get more money. Whereas now, as the government say, you're better off in work. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, it's not the government that are paying you, it's the taxpayer. So mum and dad working, both working a job, so they're both earning in excess of 21,000 a year, joint income over 21,000 a year. They get no tax credit. They get no child tax credit because they're over the threshold. However, they've got to support their next door neighbour who's only earning 10 grand a year each. So they're just below the threshold. But because they've got 7 kids, they get a shitload of child tax credit money. I think I went online the other day just for a joke, and I put down that I had 2 kids, was a single dad, I wasn't working, I had terminal cancer, So I couldn't work, so I put it in. They'd pay me £450 a month or every 4 weeks for myself. They would then pay me £800 a month for 2 kids, right? And then I did it again. I thought, this is all wrong. And it worked out that it was something like £213 every 4 weeks working tax credit. No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's how I did it. I put first time I was sick with a terminal illness. And it came back, we'll give you up to £450 every 4 weeks working tax credit because you're disabled or with disability. Because you've got 2 kids, we'll give you another £800 a month. We will also give you 100% of your rent. So in my area, that's about £400. In my area, it's about £400 every 4 weeks. By the time you paid your rent and your council tax, yeah. And then people have the fucking nerve, excuse my French, but makes me really angry, to say we've got a 3-bedroom council house, housing association house, but we only need 1. But why should we pay 25% multi-room under occupancy supplement? Because you're living in a council house funded by the taxpayer, which you don't need. And if you don't like it, then go. And that £400 a month rent, or £400 every 4 weeks rent, you'll suddenly find is £800 a month rent, £1,200 a year council tax, 2 months in advance, 3 months deposit, yeah, then come back, then complain that you have to pay between 14 and 25% of your rent because you're under occupied. Now, you can pay £100 a month, or you can pay an extra 1,000. I know what I'd choose. If I got in that situation one day, I'd be paying £100 a month. I certainly wouldn't go private where I'd be paying up to 100,000, up to 1,000 a month with a very large deposit to put down before I get the keys, and estate agent fees or letting agent fees. What they call it? Reference checks, basic admin fees, or whatever. You know, everything. Everywhere you turn now, it's a scam. What I'm trying to say is, if you can help, great. If not, set up, as I say, set up a page. You got a business, set up a page and get people to fund you. I get commission that way because I got a new customer. I get basically a finder's fee. When you refer your mates, people you know, to Patreon, you get a finder's fee. And then when they get people, they get a finder's fee. And at the end of the day, it'll take the stress off the welfare system in this country, and it'll give people around the world an income. You know, if you only make £1,000 a month from it, great, that'll help a lot. If you're in Asia, Africa, £1,000 a month, you'll be living like a king. You know, all I'm saying is have a look, have a think about it, and at the end of the day, let's start working as a team, because sooner or later, our government are going to totally screw us, and we're not going to have anything. The poor, the low income people are going to be back, as I say, in Robin Hood time, where we're all living in the woods in trees, because we won't be able to afford rents, we won't be able to afford thing, because at the end of the day, it's all right for people that aren't on welfare saying, well, I'm all right, Jack, but then when the peasants haven't got anywhere to live and they've got no income, they can't work for you, so then your company goes. It's a joke. It's absolutely hilarious. People in the Philippines, they're working for 100 pesos a day. That's $1.50. Just over a pound. This is why they all say to me, like I said on my previous video, I only want $10. $10 to them is 700 pesos. That's a week's wages. It's absolutely ludicrous. That's why they say Asia and Africa is a nation of slaves, and they won't allow their people to work good jobs because the rich are scared of losing their house slaves, because that's basically what I call them. If you're working for £1.50 a day, you're worse than a slave. Unbelievable. I've been talking to people from the Philippines probably the last 10 years, and it is absolutely scandalous. It's getting better. My last visit there, it was a lot better than the first few years. It really has gone uphill. But now the dirty's got in, and like Britain, it's crashing big time. Anyway, I'm done. You've heard enough of me for today. Like, subscribe, comment below, set up your own Patreon page. Let's get the world working. Let's get people earning money. Have a good one. Bye. Bye. I'm not a nutter, I'm just happy because I want to help lots of people. Bye now. Oh, I'll put the link in the bottom, by the way.